In this episode of Film Stock Reviews, I'm reviewing episode 3 of Peacemaker titled Better Goff Dead. Now, I just want to say that the spoiler of this episode is in the title of this episode. Basically, Myrn briefs Peacemaker, Chris Smith, on his mission, and which is to assassinate a U.S. Senator, Roland Goff, who is suspected to be a butterfly. Once again, Peacemaker asks, what is a butterfly? What is the Butterfly Project? Of course, they don't answer him and they don't tell him what it is. All the while, he finds out that Peacemaker must kill the senator, but then he's also given the task of killing the entire family, even the kids, which Peacemaker doesn't want to do and is not for that. So basically, they go to the senator's house and they are staking it out. We find out that the senator, the wife, the kid, the brother and sister are all there, but then something happens, and it's very interesting. We see the emotional aspect that Peacemaker has to not doing this because there's kids involved, and which is really, really interesting, really good. But then these so-called butterflies, they're drinking some honey-looking liquid or goo, so they sit down at the table, the Goff family, and they start eating this thing, but something comes out of their mouth, like this weird substance, like a pollination thing, like they're, like when a bee or a butterfly pollinates something or something like that. If I'm wrong, forgive me. But when I saw this scene, and I know James Gunn directed it and wrote it, I felt like it was reminiscent of his movie Slither, which is a really, really great movie, very underrated if you've never seen it. And it just harbors on that. But then when Peacemaker couldn't go through with the mission, Vigilante steps in. And the reason Vigilante steps in is because he followed them to this location. And Vigilante is just funny and great. And all the while the chaos is happening, all of a sudden, Judo Master comes out. Yes, James Gunn added Judo Master in this. Another DC character from the comic universe of DC Comics. And Judo Master is really, really funny in this. But it's interesting how everything plays out. Now, as this is happening, Peacemaker and Vigilante do get caught, and they do get interrogated by Roland Goff, who... It's funny because the torture scene that is played out in this is great. Vigilante is the one being tortured by Roland Goff, the senator, but the character of Peacemaker is just sitting there antagonizing it, and it's really funny. And the amount of torture that Vigilante has and takes is really hilarious because he gets his balls electrocuted by battery chargers or an electrocution, and he gets almost his pinky toe cut off. And it's just so good. But then Peacemaker's like, keep going. Yeah, it turns me on. It's so funny and so well written. It's great. And Leota, Myrn, and Harcourt come in to save Peacemaker and Vigilante. And they do that. But there's this so-called like structure blocking the entranceway to this underground layer. It's like a huge, like, it's alienistic type thing, which is really interesting. But then Peacemaker does kill Roland Goff in a crazy way. As he does so, a butterfly-like creature emerges from the dead body of Roland Goff, and it's really, really insane. And as that happens, we find out that there are more so worldwide suspected butterflies in the world. So it's really interesting how everything happens. But the character that really surprised me in this episode was the character of Myrn, the leader of Argus, I believe, who's working with Amanda Waller. And the reason I say that is because he has a past. And Economist asks him about this, but Myrn feels like he, is telling him this, but he backs away a little bit. And you can tell Economist is scared of Myrn, but we don't know the backstory of what Myrn is. We don't know what anybody's backstory is yet, except we know who Leota is and what she has a purpose in this. And it's really interesting. And the whole idea of this whole systematic of what is Project Butterfly, what's happening in this, what Peacemaker is, Peacemaker's father's White Dragon, and the Judo Master's in this, and we definitely get more of the Judo Master. And I do want to say that each character in this so-called episode, meaning the team that Peacemaker's a part of, does have a good piece of screen time, and it's really good. Economist kicks ass in this, but he's funny. Myrn, Harcourt, Leota are all great, and it's really good. And I love the screen combination between Peacemaker and Vigilante. It's so well done and so interesting that I can't stress enough how great this show is. And I do want to say that, and I did not mention this in my episode 1 or episode 2 review of Peacemaker, each episode has a post-credit scene, which is about, I want to say, 10 to 30 seconds long. It's not that long. And these episodes are not that long either. They're maybe between 40 to 55 minutes. It's really short. And the first 3 episode premiere took about 2 hours to watch, but it was really well worth it and really, really well done. And this episode was really good, and we got the full action of what things are to come, especially this season on Peacemaker. After seeing this first 3 episode premiere, I really want a season 2. Just greenlight it. HBO, do your thing, because I feel like this is going to be a big hit for you. And hey, who knows? We could get a Peacemaker vigilante movie with other DC characters that are unheard of, because James Gunn uses those characters, but he makes it front and center, which is fantastic. Which is why the Suicide Squad worked, because James Gunn wrote and directed it. He knew what he was doing. And when I heard there was a Peacemaker show coming, based on the character that John Cena plays, I was really hesitant because I didn't know where they would go. But knowing that James Gunn wrote the entire season of season 1, and he, directed certain episodes, is really, really good. I absolutely loved the 3 episode premiere of Peacemaker, and it's really rare because new shows only do maybe 1 episode or 2 episodes, not 3. Peacemaker changed that landscape, especially when it premiered. So it's really, really good to see a show like this. It's funny. It's dry. This is not your normal DC comic book show or movie that you want to know and see. And this definitely takes the idea of what John Cena was when he was a wrestler in the WWE. Of course, he made all those Make-A-Wish foundations. But this is not a show for kids to watch. I just want to say that right now, because I don't want to hear any complaints from parents like, oh, this is what John Cena was in the WWE. Wholesome this and that. Hustle, loyalty, respect. You can't see me. Totally different than what this is. And it's really good because James Gunn sees the craft that John Cena is. And James Gunn is tremendous. And I can't get over how good the soundtrack is, because it's only going to get better. And I can't wait to see the rest of season 1. So let me know in the comment section below what you thought about episode 3 of Peacemaker. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What did you think of it? And also let me know, what did you think about the entire first 3 episode premiere of Peacemaker? What would you give every episode rating? What did you like? What didn't you like? And do you like the soundtrack? And do you like the villains that are picked? And what did you think of Judo Master? And would you like to see a Peacemaker vigilante spin-off show or movie? Or just let me know in the comment section below. And I'll see you guys in the next review video. And be sure you tune in next week to my episode 4 review of Peacemaker.